Hello, everybody. Pop culture curator here. Is so good to see you. Welcome back for another surprise episode of the classic Lost in Space. I know we were going to have this be something different tonight, but fortunately, the good news is we had a last minute change of plans, and we are going to pick up where we left off from the week before. And we've got the episode Wreck of the Robot. And I wanted to say, first of all, hello to my wonderful friends in the chat. First of all, Gorilla's Random Thoughts, how are you doing tonight?
Perplexed. Why is it only the white cars and the light gray cars that never have their headlights on in very dense fog or in whiteout conditions? All
Those
the
are the
dark
people with
cars
the
don't have
smaller,
their lights on,
maybe those are
but
the
it's always
people with the smaller brains.
I don't know. I guess you could. I don't know because it's always white cars and light gray cars in those conditions that never had their lights on.
Right, the ones that are already harder to see in the first place.
Yeah.
It's too bad, right? And those, obviously, you could tell those are the older cars too, because most of the new cars, the lights are automatic. They either turn on all the time or they have a sensor where they'll turn on when it starts getting darker.
I know the X there has a brand new vehicle and I can turn it off of auto.
The X,
Yeah, the ex girlfriend.
oh,
Owen's mom, her vehicle, I can turn the auto lights off. But how I gotta go check on my food here, so hopefully Jill's doing good.
go for it. How you doing there, Jill?
Yeah, I'm doing really great, and I haven't had that issue of people not turning on their headlights, so I'm having a good time.
Well, I'm glad to hear
At
that,
least
and
not
I'm
today.
sorry to, yeah, and I'm sorry to hear that your special guest wasn't able to make it to your stream tonight. I didn't know you were having somebody from Deep Space Nine on there.
Oh, what it was is I'm collaborating with someone who is going to interview with someone very special from Deep Space Nine, and from lots of other Hollywood productions. But that'll be for the Outcast Creative, and his name is Lance. Is the name of the guy who has a YouTube channel, but he hasn't made an announcement of who it is. So I think I'll let him reveal that when he's ready.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that sounds very exciting, and I hope to be able to see that when it happens.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
it'll
know
be
much
really cool.
about. Yeah, I don't know much about DS9 as you know, but I'd like to be in the chat there, hopefully, so I could at least enjoy and watch.
Oh, that'd be great if it's live. I think it might be a recording. I'm not sure the whole situation with how to interview this person is what's being worked out.
Okay,
So,
and you
but
said it's gonna be on
it'll
the.
be a yeah, it'll be a lot of production stuff, and so you actually might enjoy it pretty well, despite not knowing the show.
Yeah, I think I would. So it's gonna be on a different channel, the creative. Some. What did you say?
Oh yeah, I'll put a link. I'll put the link in the chat because it's a
All
really
right.
great channel. I think you would really like this channel because he works in the film industry, or he used to.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. Yeah, it sounds amazing. If it's something that, excuse me, if it's something that you're sub to, I'm sure it's something that I'll definitely be highly interested in.
I think so. He's pretty awesome. So subscribe to the Outcast Creative right here. He's pretty cool.
There's the link, everybody. Check that out. Oops, wait a minute. I just.
Resistance would be futile. Oh, Stone Racket needed a link. I sent him one, so he should
Did
be
I
here
forget
shortly.
to? I'm sorry,
I
Stone
don't know.
Racket. What
I
is
already
going on
sent
with
it,
my
so
brain
don't worry
today?
about it.
Ah. Oh, I see. What I did was I pasted it and then I forgot to hit send. I'm sorry, Stone Racket, if you're listening. I'm so sorry. That was not intentional. I
I
was
sent
just
him one
telling
on
Jill
Discord.
on Discord. Well, thank you, Jill. Yeah, when I got home from the doctor's office today, guys, my brain was, I was way out of it when I was putting together the thumbnail and getting ready to send everybody the links. So I
Yeah.
apologize for any mistakes that I may have made.
Yeah. No, pop. If it makes you feel any better, I do that all the time.
I know, but and for Stoneback, I think this is 2 weeks in a row, so I feel really bad. But hopefully he'll
Yeah,
be
that's
along
true.
really soon here.
Yeah, as broadcasters, we all make these kinds of mistakes for sure.
Well, let's go ahead and say hi to the chat here.
Yes.
Or we are again.
Hi, chat.
Stoneback says, Pop Culture Curator, good evening. Likewise to you too, sir. Pleasant Belly Picker says, I may have to miss the stream. Well, sorry to hear that. Haven't watched the episode, and my usual source won't play. Yeah, I didn't know that. I apologize for that, PvP. I didn't know until Gorilla told me just before the stream. Which means if Soap Today is down, that means people aren't able to use that link I sent for Return of the Living Dead. I need to find a new link and a new source for that so I can post that. I'm going to try to do that tonight, everybody.
What's the movie?
Return of the Living Dead from 1985.
Okay.
I think it's 85. Pretty sure it's 85. And it was right in the middle of when I was in the Air Force. Pleasant Valley Picker says, watching now will be about 40 minutes late. Well, if you can make it, that will still be on the air in 40 minutes, PvP.
Yeah, PvP should watch it at double speed, then he'll just be 20 minutes late.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll do that.
And good to see you. Good to see you, Stone Racket. I
Good to be
apologize
here.
for the link.
Resistance.
For the link.
Resistance would be futile.
Is futile. You'll hear it here first tonight, everybody. Long before TNG. I think it was introduced TNG with the Borg, right?
Yeah, them they're Borg peoples.
Yeah, the best of both worlds.
Hey, Pop, does it have like a swirling thing? Well, I'll just send you this one here and you can tell me if it's the right one.
Speaking of the Borg, the hospital. What was that?
Sorry.
Oh, excuse me. Q-Who is the first time we see the Borg.
Yeah,
Q-Who. That's
right.
It's just the most fun one.
Yeah. The hospital that I used to work at, the public relations gentleman who also had his own talk show on our local PBS station. His last name was Borg.
That's an interesting name to have. I'm sure he gets a lot of questions about that.
So
I don't know. I saw him quite a bit in the hospital. I was always tempted to ask him what he thought of that, but I figured he probably got a lot of that already.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be one of your great regrets, there, Stone Racket. One of your great regrets, not giving up crap for it.
What did you say?
That's going to be one of your great regrets, not calling him out for being a Borg.
Yeah, well, I referred to him as the Borg behind his back, but
yeah. Anyhow, should we keep on going with this chat here? So,
well, yeah, I was just gonna say, Gorilla. Yes, I just checked out the link you sent. That is the correct movie, but I noticed that website has commercials. Is that right?
Not if you use Brave browser, and the commercials are just like Tubies.
What does that mean?
I mean, if you don't have the ad block, like if you have an ad blocker, they don't show up the ads. But if you do have an ad block, or if you don't have one, then you'll get like one or two commercials like cable TV.
Okay, well, that's good as long as it doesn't cut any part of the movie out.
No, it doesn't cut any part of the movie out. It's just that's their way of making money to buy the films.
Oh, so it's a legitimate website?
I'm claiming that. I'm claiming
maybe I need it. If they're having commercials, that means it must be legit, hopefully. Maybe I can look on there and see if I can find my time crimes.
Yeah, you could try. But anyhow, welcome, Brad Wolf. Welcome. I hope y'all. Hi, y'all. I hope everyone is doing all right.
Yes, we are. Good
Hi,
to
Brad.
see you, Brad.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
And
Glad you're here.
And PvP says, no worries. Pop Gorilla helped me out. Yeah. And
Very cool.
and welcome, Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU. Even though that's not setting the bar very high for Taylor Swift.
No,
but
I guess
anyhow, he's giving us the turquoise wavy things. And we haven't gotten a Jill from him in a long time.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, and PvP can't double the speed. That's like a YouTube thing and a Rumble thing.
Okay.
Then PvP says Swedish Chef bork bork bork.
Hey,
Close enough.
You can't force it. It's gotta
Hey,
be meaningful.
how can PvP keep sending us chats? Why isn't he watching the episode? He needs to study it because I'm gonna quiz him big time when he gets here. No.
Oh, don't worry. I got some complaints on this
Yeah,
one.
that's right. PvP, stop listening to this and go listen to the episode.
Yes. And hello, what a great. Good to see you. Glad you could be here.
Yeah.
Euler
Welcome
Craig, who has a pet giant spider.
Oh, only the best kind. Yeah.
I
Wow.
just fought off a big spider in Minecraft.
Hopefully, is it defanged?
I don't think so, Jill.
Devenomed.
Maybe.
Giant spider waving at you. Giant spider arms waving madly.
Oh yeah, this
Okay,
is
so
the
tonight-
episode where everybody does a robot impression.
Tonight we are covering the episode Wreck of the Robot Season 2, Episode 13, and it originally aired on December 14th of 1966. And if you want more Professor Robinson and Don, then you'll get it in this episode. This is actually interesting because we don't see as much Dr. Smith and Will as we usually do. But it does
To the
highlight the
benefit of
robot.
everyone else.
To the benefit of everyone else. Not so much Judy or Penny, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
But
not
then you get
too
a
much
few lines.
Judy or Penny, but you do get a few things for them that are cool. Well, specifically Judy.
Yes, exactly.
And also John and Don not only appear, but they also are packing heat. They've got their laser pistols, and then Judy gets to appear later in the episode with the laser pistol.
Yes, that is cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Shows that she is confident and able to defend herself.
You betcha.
Well, it's important for the ladies to be able to defend themselves when the guys have gone off to go deal with the
That's
thing.
right.
Yeah. And I'd like
Yes.
to say welcome to Pickles and the Phantom Boomer.
Hello there. Welcome. Good to see you too.
Yeah, PvP, I sent you something in Twitter there to help you out there. And Boomer says howdy. Then LGC Pickle says good evening, everybody.
Good
Almost have
evening.
to
Good
do
evening.
I have to do what that one guy's guy, that Romanian guy, vampire Dracula. I had to try to imitate him.
Hungarian. You mean Bela Lugosi?
Hey.
Well,
Okay,
that sounds more Italian, I guess. I shouldn't have done that.
Okay. Sorry, I was 20 miles to the south.
And I'm not good at impressions or trying to do that, so I
Oh,
will
me neither.
refrain in the future.
But practice is the only way to get better.
That's true.
Yeah. No, but I was close enough. I was only 20 miles to the south with Romanian.
Okay. Okay.
And-
Listen to the children of the night. What sad music they make.
And other Greg says, hey, the Phantom, howdy, Greg. Hey, other Greg says, my laser pistol is out of warranty. Well, you mean you did not get it? You did not. Maybe you should have answered those phone calls that they've been calling you and offering you an extended warranty on your laser pistol. But now you just had
Exactly
to
right.
keep ignoring them.
And of course, it quit the day after the warranty went out.
Okay, he's got it working now. It's a lot, not a lot of people's days. And we got some pancakes from Taylor Swift.
Yay. I need my flapjacks. Matt G knows that I just love flapjacks.
Oh, those delicious. Definitely a wholesome, something good you can have for breakfast or dinner.
You betcha.
All right. I'm going to read a little bit like I usually do from the book Irwin Allen's Lost in Space, the authorized biography of a classic sci-fi series, Volume 2 by Mark Cushman. And I'll start a little bit with the assessment from this episode. Wreck of the Robot was an attempt to combine horror sci-fi flavor of many first season episodes, those usually enhanced by the Bernard Herrmann score from The Day the Earth Stood Still. Obviously, for those of you that had noticed, we get a lot of the theremin in tonight's episode, which I always enjoy. With the camp comedy of season 2 kind of blended, well, as with most episodes from this period, it did primarily feature Smith, Will, and the robot. Other cast members are also given opportunity to be noticed. Guy Williams is more involved with the story than usual. John Robinson has a touching scene with Will as he prepares his son for the possibility that the robot may never be the same again, even after being reassembled. June Lockhart and Mark Goddard are allowed to have a bit of fun as both mimic the antics of the robot. And Bill Mooney delivers some sincere acting moments as Will confesses his feelings for the robot and the sadness over losing his, quote, friend. It was an interesting premise, aliens using the robot as a means of learning how to control man-made electronic devices. And the Sadicons effectively served as villainous aliens. Some critics and even fans of Lost in Space have ridiculed the use of bowler hats as part of the Sadicons' attire. But these sinister beings, while silly by today's sci-fi alien creature standards, nonetheless make a memorable impression with the rock-like texture of their faces, the dark clothing and capes, and their tendency to lurk in the shadows. Another eerie aspect is how they sway back and forth while moving and speaking. Snicker now, but for 1966 Family Hour television, they were downright creepy. Another plus to this story, not always present in all of Lost in Space episodes, is that Barney Slater inserted a fair amount of personal conflict into his script, as well as the expected physical jeopardy. The concept of machines acting as if they have a will of their own, even to kill, and then turning on their human handlers was a novel idea. The trump card being the food storage units becoming inoperative. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Any story, be it comedy, drama, or sci fi fantasy, should have a theme, and this one does. Another reason for its success. When Professor Robinson tells the Sadicons that they had no right to take the robot, the alien leader says, I believe, Professor Robinson, that you Earth people have a saying, might makes right. Later, when questioned about the aliens, the robot says, they are creatures of evil and ambitions. They desire to rule others. While these seemingly simple statements, we are with these seemingly simple statements, we are given a reasonable definition of evil, a desire to rule others, and the belief that it might does make right. Okay, so without going too much into detail, because otherwise I'd be reading for on and on and on, because this book has a lot to it. Let's start with a recap from the end of last week's episode.
Well, we got Oiler Greg here saying, yes, read from the book. Cheers. And then we
Very
got
cool.
welcome Suzanne Eckstein there. She's saying hello to everybody.
Hello, Suzanne. Hope you're doing well.
And Greg says, stop making cracks about the book. Gangsta Planet TOS.
That's true.
Yeah, and more looks like everybody's just saying hi to each other here. And Oiler Greg says, I need a helper robot to set my bowling pins.
Yeah, notice they didn't show the robot exactly doing that. Considering he has claws or hooks for hands, it doesn't seem like it'd have been a very easy task.
Well, no, just grab around the neck of the pin and set it down. Go
Yep,
right by the
that's
neck,
true.
right where the red's at.
Well, yeah, you could do it around where the rings are, but it might be a little slow.
Ah, it seems easy enough. But
So here we have Will, Dr. Smith, and the robot are bowling. So they have a makeshift little bowling alley set up there. Did you want to say something,
Yeah.
Gorilla?
yeah, I thought they got rid of all their sports equipment. So where'd this stuff come from?
I know exactly. Are they getting to where they can fabricate stuff? Especially those
Yeah,
bowling
now
balls.
they can. Yeah, now they can mine materials and manufacture all sorts of sports things.
Yeah, because those bowling balls, you figure, would have definitely been non-essential weights when they had to leave pre-Planis.
It's true, they did leave behind all of their sports gear.
Yeah, I could live with them. I could live with the bowling pins because you could just say they cut down some wood. But here's the one thing: they didn't even notice that it's a different color coming back at them.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
it's because the Sadicons touched it and made it evil.
Yeah, but it's like
This kind of
they
reminds
didn't
me of
notice.
the old. This kind of reminds me of the old Warner Brother cartoons.
Yeah.
Hey, but that would make
Well, even
bowling
the
a lot.
explosion is like a cartoon.
But
True.
bowling there with something that explodes would make bowling a whole lot more fun.
I'm sure it would. A lot more exciting. I'd actually start watching it at that point. Same with golf. If golf would add a little explosion here or there, I might start watching it.
Well, golf, I will watch every episode of the PGA if they put one landmine on one of the golf courses.
Yes,
in one of the sand
I
bunkers.
agree.
Buried in one of the sand bunkers. You put a landmine in one of the sand bunkers there, I will watch every single episode or every single time they show the PGA Tour on there just to see if something happens.
I second that. I don't understand how people can watch it because it's like watching paint dry. But to each their own. I know there's an audience out there for it.
But here's the thing: we're already in season 2, and they're following. They just had something explode in their face, and now they're following a random object that's rolling on its own, like red flag for anybody.
It's not random. It's made out of gold.
Right, exactly. And Dr. Smith is eternally greedy.
Greedy. Like Daffy Duck. Mine.
Charlie never learned. Probably not. So here we were introduced to the Sadicons, the bad guys for the week, which is, as the book previously mentioned, the ones dressed in black with the bowler hats.
Yeah. Hey, Pop, your poll.
I forgot to put a poll in the chat. Go ahead, guys.
I'll read chats while you do this.
Thank you.
Good call, Gorilla.
A bit of bowling can be fun.
Thank you, Gorilla.
Until you get overly competitive types. Warning! Bowling pins flying wildly about. Golf is harsh but extremely exciting. Boom! Yeah. If you want more explosions, maybe contact the people who make Power Rangers. They know how to add unnecessary but fun explosions. Were there explosions? I never watched Power Rangers.
I watched Power Rangers when I was a kid, but only the ones with the dinosaurs.
Ooh, look at that, Jill. A big explosion.
We got some weird people on the screen.
Well, so the weird... Yes, we do have Eric protecting for copyright reasons.
Is the person related to the radiation from the explosions?
What's the question, Gorilla?
we got the people became 3-legged. They're from the radiation from the
Oh
explosion.
yes. No, Eric's was born that way. But one thing I wanted to mention here is, do you want to read Nemesis?
Well, welcome to Nemesis of Eating. And Jill, you read
Hail,
it.
Nemesis.
Good one.
Hell, you beautiful beings. I hope you're well tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button.
Thank you,
Oh,
Nemesis. Good to see you as well.
We're supposed to hit it? I thought we were supposed to lick it.
You're supposed to smash it.
Lick it, like it, smash it, run over it.
And, well, one of the things I wanted to say was that when they throw this gold ball, it explodes. So all this time, it's just a gold-plated explosive device. And so that explains why it wasn't too heavy for Will to lift. Because a solid gold bowling ball would weigh over 200 pounds. At least.
That is
But
true. That is
you
true.
forget, Jill, that Dr. Smith declared that it was solid gold.
That's what I just said.
No,
I said that it has.
Yeah, it has to be, but Dr. Smith declared it was solid gold.
It can't be. It can't be solid gold. It has to be gold plated and explosive.
Well, you gotta
it can't
remember.
Be solid.
You gotta remember
Unless
this is Lost in Space. Anything's possible.
How'd you come up with 200
so
pounds?
Will is
super strong.
I looked it up.
Oh.
It's it's got to be dense. Yeah, Will is super strong. He's got to enter some weightlifting tournaments now. If he lifted that ball like it was
nothing, man.
So from the very start, these aliens have proven that they're untrustworthy, even beyond demanding possession.
And Jill, what is your opinion of the Sadicons?
I think they're an interesting villain.
I really like these guys.
They're spooky.
Now they're not named in this episode, but they do return in a later episode, and they are named in that one.
Oh,
okay. I was wondering how you knew their name.
So I had this on when we were heading to Cub Scouts, and Owen was so excited. What the aliens look like this week? All he wanted to do was see the aliens. That's the only part of the episode he wanted to see.
Oh, cool.
He likes the monster of the week.
Yeah, I'm glad he's showing interest.
All he wanted to do was see the aliens. Mm-hmm.
Which is cool. Totally fine.
And I suppose that's the start.
Yes, it is.
And apparently Don is good at baking.
Don's good at baking. He's making a Boston cream pie. He's showing Judy how to do it. And John is actually helping Maureen with the laundry. He's not very happy about it, but he is doing it.
Yeah, why are the blankets not wrapped in plastic?
I know what happened with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was grumbling that it was woman's work.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, he was.
He was listing all of the men's work that he should be doing, but they're not available on this planet.
No sexism here, right? This is 1998.
I think that this episode is balanced with a bit of both.
A bit of both, yeah.
Kapla, Bird of Prey 5.
Hello, Bird of Prey 5. Good to see you.
Now, have you heard half the stuff that comes out of my mouth there? I don't know if you'll have pleasant dreams.
I hope you do, Bird of Prey. I'm glad you could visit us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I applaud to Bird of Prey 5. One of the things that I appreciate about this episode is that Maureen is allowed to play a bit more of a leadership role than she usually does. When the robot says, I want to go sacrifice myself instantly, she's like, wait a minute. No, you're part of this family. We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Well, that was sweet. He's definitely part of the family.
She's just showing that she's a strong, independent woman.
Poor robot.
That she's a teammate. That she's a team member.
Well,
right, and she says what we are all thinking, because that's what we would immediately, if we were in this situation, we would have spoken up and defended the robot as well.
Yeah, no,
darn right.
This episode here. I will give it one thing. It does show that you can be a strong, independent woman without being the I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. They're still doing their jobs, and they're not blaming anybody for their failures or anything like that.
And after insulting Don's cooking, it doesn't seem like Dr. Smith is having too much difficulty finishing the rest of that Boston cream pie.
Oh,
Now, if I remember right, across the Boston cream pie, isn't that a chocolate pie with Cool Whip? Am I wrong?
I know I've had French silk pies, but I don't think I've had Boston cream pie.
Okay. That's right. Just nitpicking.
No. The Boston cream pie is a cake with a cream filling. A dessert required its name when cakes and pies were cooked in the. It's basically custard. Yeah,
Well,
cooked in the same
delicious.
pans and the words were used interchangeably. In the late 1920s, the type of cake that was variously called a cream pie or a chocolate cream.
Thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah. Here, let's
So, go ahead.
let's get. We got a lot of chats that's popped up here. And,
all right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, Greg says, "Hey, Devin, since I saved you some popcorn." So apparently, Greg says,
Very kind.
Everybody say hi to each other here. Brad Wolf says, "Will ate his Wheaties, I guess."
Indeed.
And
yes, he did.
Greg says, "Dr. Smith is an expert in precious metals.
He seemed to always know everything about them. Or he likes to think that he does.
Yeah, he thinks he does.
He's one of those he talks out of his rear end because his mouth knows better.
True.
Hey, you should be glad I censored myself for you on that one, Pa.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
And Suzanne says, "No, it's a white cake with vanilla and cream filling coated in chocolate." Well, wasn't that pretty much what it said?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, all right.
Yeah, and Brother Greg says, "Men and women have different talents that complement each other under normal conditions."
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, but you don't get that in today's writing, was my point I was trying to make.
No, that's true too. You're right.
Well, you get it in this episode, and I think it is really well done, and it was a great way to bring them into the story. Maybe not as much as the other characters, but they're there, and they're not just in the background like they usually are.
Yeah.
So we have Don and John playing chess. And they're discussing the aliens and about what the aliens said. And John realizes. Go ahead, Gorilla.
Okay, here's another thing. How did they get them to talk out of the chess pieces? That never made sense to me. That didn't make sense.
Because if you notice, the top of the king has some gold, so they can speak through gold. There, I said it.
That's very possible.
That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
It's a form of cosmic ventriloquism.
Yes, and emphasis on the cosmic.
Oh no, yeah, that part doesn't really make any sense. What makes even less sense is when they say we can figure out how to make this chess piece into a communication device, but not only that, John Robinson says because they can do that, they can probably also teleport into this ship. And what tells him that the two don't seem related, but all right.
Right. Why did they just do that in the first place, right?
It's Professor John Robinson. He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
So we're just supposed to trust him,
I guess. Yeah, it's that that sophisticated writing that we expect. Oh, see the prop next to Guy Williams. The to his right.
Oh, we're already in the cave.
Yeah, that showed up on Voyage Spawn the Sea.
Well,
Big
yeah,
surprise,
that's
I know.
too. Yeah, I was going to mention that when we get it. Okay, guys, when we get into the caves of the Satacons, you're going to see a lot of props that you've seen in previous episodes, and you will see again.
Yes, indeed.
But like the female robot that was just a few weeks ago in was it the Ghost?
The Ghost Planet.
Yes, you'll see that robot here.
Now, welcome, Scotty R37.
Hello, Scotty.
Scotty.
He said realism not required. Then he puts the asterisk at the beginning, like a side note. And Suzanne said, "Yep, I was typing as you were speaking. Sorry, it's totally all right, Suzanne. Totally all right."
Had you not obeyed, we would have been coming for you. So this is where they're going. They go to see the Satacons, and the Satacons informs them that they want the robot. And you notice they don't offer anything. Right, they want to purchase, but they don't make an offer of exactly what. So I guess we don't.
Judy sighting. Judy sighting.
Yes, it is.
She's growing lettuce.
We don't really know what sort of currency they use. They don't really offer any sort of payment of any kind. They just want to simply just take the robot.
Except for the golden bowling ball that exploded. But that's gone.
Yes.
Okay, so whatever happened to whatever happened to Bloop? I thought we haven't seen Bloop in a while.
Oh, just wait for the end of this. Yeah, they mentioned Bloop, and then pay attention to the teaser. You might have missed the teaser.
Yes, the teaser for next week's episode.
Yeah. Didn't you watch this gorilla? What's going on?
Yeah, he's in the next.
You're supposed to do your homework. He's in the. Or excuse me, she's in the teaser. The Debbie.
You're right. I know.
Oh, you'll know.
She will show up.
And Jill.
I can't wait.
And Jill, the next time the Satacons appear, the bloop is in the same episode.
Well, and this time they let the bloop guard the robot.
Yes. Well, something to look forward to. Oh, Penny sighting. Penny sighting.
We do get Penny, yes, thank goodness.
But
it was funny. Judy almost shot Penny.
Yeah, I was going to say, Judy pulled a laser gun on him. It's like, because the robot's getting a little twitchy. He's saying warning, warning, and alien approaching or whatever he said, and it's like, no, it's just Penny and Dr. Smith.
Well, this episode actually really gets into what I really enjoyed from season 1, which is the nature of the emotions that the robot has been developing since the middle of season 1.
And see, that's what here took me all out. I've always seen the robot as a protector. Now all of a sudden now it's acting like a scared little 7-year-old instead of the robot in the first season would have gladly sacrificed himself in order to save the family. But here he's acting like he's so scared, and they had to talk to him to get his courage back up and stuff.
Well, the first thing he does is to say that he wants to go back and sacrifice himself, but the family wouldn't let him do that. But at the same time, he's nervous about leaving the family.
He is frightened.
He's frightened that he's going to have to separate from the family in order to protect them.
Hey, Herc.
Hello, Herc. Good to see you. Welcome.
And of course, the Satacons, with their cosmic, and I emphasize cosmic bowler hats, are very scary.
Yeah.
So it's enough to disturb even the robot.
Well, it's great music too. The music helps put across that mood.
Yeah. And the music, of course, as you mentioned, Pop, when you read from the Mark Cushman book, is from The Day the Earth Stood Still. But what was the specific scene that music was used in The Day the Earth Stood Still?
I'm not sure. I'd have to watch
it was
again in years.
It was when Klaatu is signaling to Gort with Bobby's Boy Scout flashlight.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And
But
poor robot. Could you go back to that slide, Jill? Poor robot. He's so sad looking.
That's true. That's true. We've never seen the robot in this
Oh,
particular
yeah,
position before.
yeah,
Yeah,
poor robot.
and to me, the way he is acting, they did. I thought they did it. They didn't do it right, and it just halted the whole episode for me. And it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna have this one.
Well, thank you for saying that, Gorilla. We know you don't like the robot at all then. Oh, no sympathy at all?
They're trying to expand the range of emotion that he's able to express, and maybe it comes
Yeah.
off a little odd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's slightly silly, but I love the robot so much that I
they-
just go with it.
They did Data's emotion chip in Nemesis better than they did this scene.
Oh,
Oh,
that's harsh.
dear.
But you mean the Generations?
No, he had the emotion chip. Was it Generation?
Well, I just mean the one where he was the most annoying about it was in
Yeah.
Generations.
Oh, okay, fine. Generations.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
well-
always found him annoying, but that's me. I'm sorry. I know it's not popular.
Well, Dave
Yeah,
is
well-
my favorite character, and well, they don't do him right in Nemesis either, so you could be right there.
Yeah. And welcome the man of many words, Cody Guy.
Hey, old Cody guy. Good to see you there.
All right, hey, let's catch up on chat. We got a couple chats to read here. There, Scotty says, "Hey, everybody, panel in chat."
Hello.
Then we're getting to everybody say hi and welcome, Scurvy. Welcome.
Hey, Lemon Pie. Good to see you. Yeah, all right. Looks like a good turnout tonight. I appreciate it, guys. If you haven't done so yet, maybe consider hitting the like button. And if you haven't subbed to my channel, maybe do that too. I think you'll find a lot of interesting, fun stuff.
Yeah,
And I did get that poll put up in the chat, so feel free to vote if you'd like.
yeah. And Herc said, "Good guy, good day, good evening, Cody Guy." Oiler Craig says, "I agree with you on the robot stone racket."
Thank you, Orly Greg.
And Herc says, "The splash screen tonight is awesome."
I'm somewhere in
Splash
between.
Yeah, his overlay, his Pop's overlay for
Oh,
The-
thank
his
you.
Lost
I
in
did do a
Space
little more
overlay.
tweaking. Yeah, I did a little more
Mhm.
tweaking, so as you can see, hopefully it's not blocking anybody now.
Yeah. And Scurvy here says, "Cody's here. How do you like them apples?"
Hey, lemon pie, that's my line. Uh-oh. The Sadakons are messing around with the
We're
Robinson's
touching things.
intricate machinery and stuff on the Jupiter too.
I've
Yeah,
never
I
seen
thought
this
about this.
particular panel before.
What was
I
that?
thought- Yeah,
Jill?
we've seen it before. We've seen.
Yeah, it's been there
ahead.
before. It's just that we haven't seen it close up in color, I think, because maybe this is the
Yeah,
first time
because
for that.
it-
I'm not
it
sure.
Showed it. Yeah, like in the first episode when a lot of things were exploding and everything. It showed a lot
Yeah.
of sparks.
Lots
But
of
I
sparks
thought
from
it
that
was-
panel.
Yeah, I wanted to ask your guys' opinion about this scene. When they show the Sadakons before they enter the Jupiter 2, they walk right by the force field generator. Is it
It
like
wasn't even
it doesn't-
on.
That's what I was wondering. The Robinson seriously left it turned off?
No, it was on. The lights were on.
Or was okay?
just
So
that-
it-
Just that
it
the
was on-
Sadakons, it's like, whoa,
No
that they
effect
can
on
just
them?
walk through the force fields. Like, what else can they do? Probably a
But
whole
I
heck of
didn't
a
see
lot.
the force field. Usually, when somebody breaks through the force field, we see something happen to indicate that they did that,
Some
and they just
visual
scroll right in.
indication.
Yeah, usually. But these are the Sadakons, Jill.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a conundrum. I can't explain it.
I just figured it was Smith's job to turn on the force field. And
Now notice the leader of the Sadakons with his little emblem on his bowler hat, his little star or solar flare, whatever you want to call it. He's the only one that takes the elevator. And then what does he do? He spies on Penny. Creepy.
Shame.
Well,
Shame. But he's looking for the robot, and there he is.
And this episode once again highlights how we never see Don or Maureen or John's quarters. We always see the kids or Dr. Smith, but we never see the other quarters.
Oh,
Like
good point.
we'll never know if John and Maureen sleep in the same bed or a different bed. Who knows, right?
You know, I
Well,
never even thought about that. I want to believe that they do because they're not allowed
You
to
would
do
think
anything
so.
else.
Right, they're not allowed to do anything else, so might as well make up for it there. And now they're without much explanation, I guess off screen, they've already noticed that the robot's missing. And she's talking about how they're all depressed. And there she is. Now we get to see Maureen doing her impersonation of the robot, which I really liked.
It was perfect. This was a good impression.
Warning, warning, it does not compute. Has he ever said that, though? I don't think he
I
said
believe
warning,
so.
warning, and then it does not compute.
Oh, in that
No, not
order.
together.
In
You're
that
right.
order, yeah. But it's okay. It's you know,
It's a
top
goofy impression. It's not meant to be.
top robot sayings.
Thank you for your meal schedule, Major. But I couldn't care less. And thank goodness he pronounced it correctly. It's such a, for me, it's a pet peeve when I hear people say, I could care less.
That means you
Yeah,
must care quite a bit already.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I could not care less. Yeah, I had to correct people, and boy, that went over well in junior high when they
All the time.
kept
Yeah, they
saying that.
don't
It's
get
like,
it.
no, you mean could not care
Right.
less.
It's like deer in the headlights. They
Yeah,
can't
it's
grasp what
like,
you're talking about.
what? Yeah, that's a pet peeve.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Sounds good.
we're all caught up on chat.
Okay, so maybe I can find something to read here from the book. So, as we know, we get back to this page. My fumbling fingers. This episode was written by Barney Slater, story editor Anthony Wilson, directed by Nathan Jurin, and produced by Irwin Allen with William D. Farola. And I do give Irwin Allen credit, is he did not insist on having his name as a writing credit on every episode. So I thought that was good. He let everybody shine to a certain extent, I guess you could say. This was Barney Slater's 14th script for Lost in Space. He had written season one's War of the Robots, one of my favorites, that is, a pivotal episode that was used to elevate the robot from mere computerized machine and servant of Dr. Smith to future day hero. He was established as an artificial intelligence in the process of evolving and learning from both the best role models, the Robinsons and Major West, and the worst, Dr. Smith. Now, with the show shifting even more toward comedy, Slater was asked to provide the next stepping stone. With this new story, we discover, along with the Robinson party and even the robot himself, that he is neither man nor machine, but as he deduces, something in between. However, Slater's first stab at the story was not very successful and contained few of the elements that provide its eventual theme. So apparently the original treatment was completely different than what we see here on screen. His two-page, I'll keep this brief, his two-page story springboard read, Smith commits a series of usual blunders, and only the timely efforts of the robot averts disaster. As a result of these near tragedies, Robinson relieves Smith of all responsibilities. Henceforth, the robot will take over all of Smith's chores. At first, Smith is happy in his newfound leisure status. Then he discovers that since he no longer participates in the life of the Robinson group, he is excluded from conversations. His opinions are ignored, and worst of all, the robot has taken his place in friendship with Will. Smith attempts to force himself on the inseparable twosome, but the robot will have none of it. After all, three is a crowd. In desperation, Smith tries to reassume his old duties, but the robot refuses to relinquish his position. The mechanical man is content with the lot which has been assigned him. It is very soon afterwards that the robot disappears. Almost immediately, the family looks with accusation towards Smith. What has he done to the mechanical man? Smith vehemently denies guilt. Despite the fact that he profits by the robot being gone, he is innocent. And for once, Smith is telling the truth. That night, as Smith and Will are talking outside the Jupiter 2, a small missile-like container lands near them in the campsite. The missile contains a note. The robot has been kidnapped. He will be safely returned if the Robinsons agree to pay a ransom of 6 containers of rocket fuel. Smith convinces Will that he should handle this matter alone. Why worry the rest of the family? He will meet with the kidnappers, explain to them that their demands cannot be met, and to be more reasonable. So, yeah, this sounds like originally it was written to where the robot is just outright kidnapped and they get a ransom note. And the kidnappers, like it says here, are asking for fuel in return. So that kind of answers what I was talking about a little bit ago when I was talking about what currency are they offering when Jill said they were offering the gold.
Yeah, it would have been better if they offered fuel. But Brad Wolf 07 has to go. Goodbye, Brad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
have a
hear
good
that,
night,
Brad. Have a great night. See you next time, Brad.
Jill, you are glowing tonight.
Yes, I chose my Vorta avatar.
I should say, Jill, you're absolutely radiant this evening. That's
Irradiant.
irradiant. Yes, excuse me.
And I'm going
Much
to move
better.
my avatar. I'm going to move my avatar because somebody's hidden.
Oh,
There
I'm
we go.
full of
Probably I'll
stars.
be down there on the bottom. There you go.
Here's space.
Cats in space. Yay.
So, at first, Smith is just fine with the robot being gone until he realizes he has to take up all of his chores. Now, he's just as distressed as everyone.
Right now he's not so happy. And on the turn of a dime, that is, of course, it's
Yeah,
immediate when he
exactly.
realizes,
Typical
yes.
Smith. Turn of the dime. Yep.
Nathan Juran returned for his 9th Lawson Space directing assignment. Jim Mills played the lead Satacon. He would return later in the season as a Satacon in The Galaxy Gift. He would also provide alien voices for the upcoming episodes The Mechanical Men and Hunter's Moon, and appear as an alien in the 3rd season episode Space Beauty. Irwin Allen would also put Mills to work in 3 episodes of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, in voice only. Want to see his face? He plays a lawyer in Pin Money, a 1975 episode of The Invisible Man starring David McCallum. So it sounds like they have to point out a specific episode from a series that ran only 1 season. It doesn't sound like he did a lot of on-screen work there.
Yeah.
Or at least with his face exposed.
But this particular slide is very upsetting. I avert my gaze.
I know it's the robot and
Poor
all of his
robot.
robot guts just all over the place.
Yeah. I'll be saying that a lot. Poor robot.
Even the music they played here is like really dark and spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Almost kind of reminds you like of an autopsy.
That's a great description of what's going on here. Because now, suddenly, before they were saying we want to own the robot, and now they're just like, oh, we only wanted to own it so we could tear it apart and examine it, but you can have it back.
Right.
In pieces.
When we're done.
Oh, dear. They didn't put them back together when they.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's kind of like when the cops are in your house, they'll just tear everything apart, throw everything on the floor, and smash stuff. Then they'll just leave.
Oh, is that
Sometimes.
Yeah. And
Sometimes
Gorilla
they leave.
speaks from experience. No,
Actually,
Sometimes
yes.
they leave.
Oh no. And then the Sadicons say, "Well, you can take his head."
Oh no!
And I'm like, ah.
Wait a minute, really? You've been raided?
It wasn't exactly my house. I just happened to have been staying there at the time.
Welcome, Baby P.
Hey, Pop. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello. Hi, Jill.
Great timing. We're only halfway through the episode.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was kind of worried there for a while. It played back pretty good though. The source I finally ended up watching. I had to switch to a different server, but it worked out in the end. So yeah, it's all
Glad to
good.
hear.
So, yeah, good episode. Real fun episode. I like this one. I guess you guys have probably covered a lot of that though already.
It's interesting.
Look, everybody, an explosion.
Uh-oh. Gee, I'm
more explosions.
Yeah, you better think twice about taking your robot back. We're not finished with him.
Yeah. What do you think of them apples, John Robinson, says the Sadicons?
You think that the Robinsons would be a little more protective over the robot, a little more short-tempered. Because I don't know if I would trust the Sadicons.
Yep.
Every word they say. Like when it's basically saying we'll return when we're done with them, it's like, yeah, how do we know you're going to do that, right?
Everything they say is basically they've proven everything they say is a lie.
Yeah,
so you're
I mean,
right about that.
They're fake gold that explodes.
Fake gold. They could program them. They could program them to attack. I mean, we don't know what they could do.
Yeah.
Wipe out
If
his total memory bank.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was afraid of. I thought he would have come back empty.
Yeah, that was one thing watching this, like many previous episodes. I'm thinking, okay, haven't the Robinsons learned after being lost in space for like a year and a half now that maybe they shouldn't take aliens at face value and just give them automatic trust? You know,
this particular slide, isn't it sad? He says, "I no longer compute."
Oh, the robot was really great.
But I'm surprised he was still capable of communicating at all.
Well, really, because and especially his cybertronic brain, or whatever you want to call it. It's in that bubble they took away. It's like, wait a minute.
That was a bit weird, wasn't it? That he started talking without his head on, like
that. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. But it's like, hey, it's lost in space, so I'll go with it, you know.
Maybe it's because the head wasn't too far separated from the body yet, and he could say one last thing. These were his last words if he were to actually be dead.
True.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Jill's explanation. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. Well, the robot's doing better than I would then if somebody separated me from my head. I don't think I'd be saying much at all. So.
Well, you know, PvP, he's got Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
There
That's a great answer.
So he's got about a 50-foot range.
It all makes sense now. Jill should be writing screenplays.
Oh, no. That's not really a great explanation.
Well, it's fun, a fun one.
Well, it's good enough for me.
It's probably better than some of the writers that Lost in Space would have come up with. So, you know, not
And
that I'm saying anything negative about it, of course.
here's another highlight from this episode.
Oh, this is a great scene.
Yeah, I always like these scenes between father and son.
Yeah, back when dads were like, you know, cool guys, right? Like, you know.
Yep, they were cool guys.
And they used to actually sit down and spend time talking to their children.
Yeah, and of course they played the same music that they usually do when they have the father and son talk.
Yeah, they have that sentimental music, as I think of it.
Yeah,
which is always kind of nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
John Williams' sentimental music. Sorry, Jill. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. He has to prepare Will for the possibility that the robot won't be able to be assembled.
That's good life
lesson. Yeah.
Good life lesson.
So yeah, this is where we discovered that the Robinsons, they've never had to really reassemble the robot from scratch, so they're not completely confident that they're able to do so. But fortunately, they have that book lying around, which is a relatively thin book. I would think there would be volumes, but you know, maybe it's modular. Maybe the robot's modular and it's simpler than we would think.
It's maybe volume 1 of 25.
That could be. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool once they start to reassemble the robot, but I guess we're not quite there yet, so I don't want to give away spoilers or
Oh,
anything.
Well,
spoilers.
nothing's permanent, neither
Yeah.
men nor
Or
machines.
machines, yeah.
That's a great line. That's
And then
so true.
Will calls the robot his brother.
Then, right after that sentimental moment,
Yeah.
Don decides to play with
Now
the decapitated head of the robot.
Yeah. This got a big laugh when I was watching this when it premiered with my family. We got a big kick out of Don pretending to be the robot.
Oh, I just love this scene. It's like all of us who want Don to get a little bit of revenge.
Yeah,
on Smith,
revenge on
for all the
Smith.
torture he's put him through in the series. It's like this is a golden scene for sure. Yeah.
It's a little grotesque for the robot, but it's good. It is good.
The ghost of the robot.
Yeah, ghost of the robot. I shall haunt you forever.
And of course, Smith, being Smith, buys into it for like the first minute or so. It's like he doesn't notice that the voice has changed, but oh well.
Well, he eventually does.
Oh, eventually, yeah.
And then, oh my goodness, violence, on-screen violence.
Actual,
Well,
yes.
Well, in all fairness,
Bruce
Don
did that.
in all fairness, Don did deserve that.
No, he didn't.
You oh, that's great. This is good.
Warning. Yeah, Dr.
Yeah.
Smith is irate.
This is great. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what Smith was thinking, because if Dr. Smith is trying to, give him the boot, it's like, that's not
Don's
gonna backfire.
Don's gonna whoop him one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And here's where they're talking about the book. Professor Robinson has been studying it, saying it doesn't look too difficult. And just as they do that, we get the return of the robot. And unfortunately, they could have been, nice enough to reassemble him since they took him apart. But no, alas, he's in many pieces. And so they just had to work throughout the night.
Domination, not putting back together a friend.
Right, another red flag.
They're not nice aliens, yeah. So, did anybody think that the aliens were like almost pointing the drill at Professor Robinson's head there for a second? Like that was kind of scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Things are getting scarier and scarier.
Well, that's the idea: is the aliens can control other electronic objects and use them for murder.
Yeah, nasty aliens.
And we see that again in Terminator 3.
Well, for Lost in Space, this is a pretty serious warning about not putting too much faith in your machinery, right?
Precisely. The dependence that we have on machines and how that can be a strength, but also a big weakness.
Well, I've always thought, like, if we lost the power supply for, say, a month, like, would that not throw the world into total chaos or what, guys? Like, really,
If we lost power for a month, we are talking tens of millions of people dead.
Well, yeah, it would be horrible. But, I mean, I've always thought, like, that would be, to me, the biggest catastrophic event ever if we lost the power grid, Hopefully they've got backup systems, but
Well, if we get a name,
buddy, you can't get rid of your really good comment about the robot just because we haven't read it yet. I really liked what he had to say about where the thinking processes are on the robot, and I wanted to read his comment at 9:05. May I?
So is that a hint that
absolutely
he says? Read?
Yeah, but I just didn't want to step on Gorilla's toes.
Can you highlight that Gorilla? Or if not, I can highlight it.
9:05, where you talk about 8:05.
8:05, right. I forgot not everybody had my time zone.
5 minutes after the hour.
Oh, wait, Scotty's here.
Yeah.
The last one. The last one.
That's it. Are we sure his processing core is in his head? That could have just been his sensors, in terms of how he spoke earlier when he says, "I no longer compute." So he's saying that the robot potentially used his sensors to speak those last words rather than his core processing, which is possible.
Right. The
makes sense,
majority of his
actually.
mechanics might be there in the center. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good old Will. Helping the robot out here. That's pretty good. I love
With
the
some
squeaking. The squeaking part.
WD-40.
Yeah, it gives them some WD-40 and fixes them right up. It's pretty great.
What's a rototempertolator?
Yeah, exactly
I have no
right.
idea. I have no idea, but it sounds kind of cool.
Sounds kind of
It's
cool.
what makes him what makes his torso spin around. That's what it is.
Oh, and all it needs is a little WD-40.
That's right. And
Well,
notice that it's all blacked out there. Can't really. It's like it's cosmic WD-40.
WD-40. Yeah.
We'll also notice when Don and John were putting him back together the night before, John said that he had to widen a rivet hole. So you know you're doing something wrong when you've got to start widening or adding holes.
Yeah. That didn't make much sense.
That's not quite fitting.
That's like forcing a screw into it.
Yeah.
Right. Which means it may not be totally perfect. And does anybody old like me remember these? I know I do. My stepmother used to have one.
I never had one, but I do remember them. Yeah. It was a thing way back when.
Yeah, they should have put some Irwin Allen gizmos on to make it look more futuristic, huh? No.
Yeah,
I need some blinking
lights.
Blinky lights, you got it.
Well, the funny thing is
on the handlebars.
This is probably taking place in like 1998 or something by this time, and it definitely looks like a 1960s machine, right?
Yeah, yeah, they didn't even make it. I don't even think they made it into the 70s.
Yeah, I never actually saw one in real life. I've just seen pictures, right?
Yeah, just on television. That's all. Never saw one in real life.
My family probably wasn't rich enough to buy anything like that back then, so hell, we still had black and white TV, at this time. So like, no, we're not getting one of those.
Oh, now's my chance to brag again that we had one in '66.
Wow, lucky you. That's a great still. Thanks, Jill. That's a good one. That's a great
help
Smith expression. That's hilarious.
Poor Dr. Smith needs to be rescued by Professor Robinson, right?
Yeah.
It's a good thing it wasn't
the fact
Dawn,
that machine has to have its own dedicated master switch. That's very cumbersome.
Yeah. Oh no. Speaking of electronic.
Well, how is this?
This gardening hose is a cosmic gardening hose. So.
Well, I'm just wondering how electronic is the gardening hose really?
Yeah, it's like,
really,
well, yeah, wait a minute.
Kind of borderline, right?
Yeah. They can control the device back, yonder, there. But how can they control the actual hose?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Wait a minute.
Control the machine, but the hose itself, it's like a
right.
angry snake or something. But I guess it gives Judy a scene, so that's all good.
Gives Judy a scene, and then look, all three women. All right.
Yeah. Did you notice it didn't even wrap around her neck? It wrapped around her shoulder. Yet she complained she couldn't breathe.
Wasn't it around her neck too?
It's all for drama. We don't really want Marta Kristen to be in danger of getting choked.
Well, hey, at least Marta wasn't crying and complaining on this one, right?
Hey,
well, yes.
Don't remind us, PvP.
Sorry.
Speak for yourself on that one.
Look at that scary tree. Oh my goodness.
Why would they go about it in a roundabout way? Yeah, that's a good question. Why are they? Because they're testing out their evil machine.
They're testing out everything, and before they conquer the galaxy.
That's right. Well, Earth first.
They're starting out with the small things, and it's interesting how the aliens are focused on Earth. So I thought,
Aren't they?
oh, you guys know what Earth is, huh? Okay.
But aren't they always pop? Like
Yes.
it's
Every
always they want to
single
conquer
every
Earth.
single villain or antagonist on the show knows everything about Earth and wants to. Well, and this
Yes.
particular one wants to conquer Earth.
hmm
Yes.
Well, the one we had with the gladiators a few episodes ago, they wanted to conquer Earth too, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Those,
It's
I tell you, those power mad aliens.
it's amazing how much they know about us, though. Like
Yeah.
we don't think we're that significant in the universe, but I guess the aliens do.
Oh, yeah.
And they think they can control Earth through the machinery.
Yeah, and well, how much can they control at one time? Because you know how much electronics they would be controlling on Earth. They'd have to be very strategic about it. You'd think.
They
Mhm.
could just knock out the power grid. That's what I'd go with.
Yeah, the power grid is a good start. That's a good point.
Well, apparently you only need to blow out one transformer in Ohio to knock out a third of the United States power grid.
It'd be a
No,
lot
they would do
easier
it.
today.
They would use an EMP. That'd be definitely more efficient.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just making a comment there with the great blackout of 2003. Is a tree limb fell on a power line in Ohio, and it started a cascade event that caused the blackout of 1/3 of the nation.
Yeah, I've heard about those cascades. Like it's happened like more than once too, right, Gorilla? If I remember correctly.
Well,
Yeah,
this one was
I remember when it happened in California.
yeah.
No, you guys missed a tender moment there where the robot offered to hug Dr. Smith to keep him warm.
Oh yeah, it's like
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Come into my arms. It's like,
It's
wow,
like-
the robot's getting really friendly here.
Well, that's one of those. He's going to be like,
Oh, PvP.
No,
You
no,
had to
no.
ruin this. You had to ruin this tender moment.
No, I just meant he's getting, warm and fuzzy. I didn't mean anything else.
no, he's gonna be like the what was that? I think it was the Rascals. I will hug you and squeeze you and love you forever. And just squeeze him.
And name you George.
Girl, you're way too good at doing those scary voices. This is a sweet moment though, but one of my favorite things about this episode is like the robot is getting such a personality. Like it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But Smith says, I'd rather die. It's like, what?
No, Smith's mean.
Yeah. Have a good night, Suzanne.
Good night, Suzanne.
Oh, good night, Suzanne. Sorry I didn't say hi to you there, sweetie, but have a good one.
Take care.
I came in late though, so sorry, Suzanne. I didn't read the chat. I just, I got here an hour late, so oh well.
Yeah, you didn't do your homework.
Hey, I was going to watch the episode, and then I heard we weren't doing Lost in Space tonight, and I thought, oh well, I can watch it, at the end of this week, and so that threw my schedule off. So, but it's no big deal.
Oh, it is to me.
Good.
No.
Well, at least I managed to watch it, and I'm here, so that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's my
good.
fault. It's my fault because I canceled the show and then I reinstated the show.
When did you reinstate?
Around a noon ish
Today?
Yeah.
Time this morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got notified. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sometime. It was right. It wasn't long before I announced it in the public's group.
Yeah.
Just a couple minutes. Her and I were still having a discussion when I put it in the public group.
Yeah, because I just checked it minutes before I had to start.
I was thinking it was, but.
And then I was like, "Oh crap! I got to watch the episode." Sorry for the swear there, Pop.
And I was thinking it was about 9:30 my time, 10:30 Jill's time.
It was about By the way, time wise, that was a big error on my part. I didn't realize that Arizona doesn't have the time shift. So you're on Pacific just like I am now, Pop. So our times are totally synchronized, which is awesome.
Yeah,
actually.
we don't change.
Yeah,
silly me. Change our times.
I felt so bad. I wanted to apologize for, because I put in Mountain to Pacific and it was giving me the 1 hour differential, right? And then finally I thought, oh, stupid me, put in Arizona time, and of course it matched up perfectly. So it's like, like duh, duh me,
But now that the aliens can control machines, the whole universe is in danger. The whole
That's
universe, not
right.
just Earth anymore.
Wow.
Yep, it's the whole universe, Jill. Yeah.
Boy, those guys must be very
All
powerful.
based on Earth's machines, right? All based on Earth's machines.
So Earth's machines put in
Exactly.
danger of the universe. Well, I'm impressed actually.
Well, that's
Yeah,
right,
those
because
Staticons, I tell you.
there's a universal translator for machines too. Everything is interchangeable. Plug and play.
Oh, Will's
Yeah,
of
having
course.
some morality.
It's just that's what I always admired about Will as a child when I was watching this. He's morally superior to this crazy adult known as Dr. Zachary Smith.
Yeah, because you think the kid would be the first one to say, yeah, go in there and kill him. But this is also reminding us, the audience, that the robot is a peaceful being, that he's mostly there for self-defense.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why it's
But
called the
then we-
B9.
Right. Then we do discover later on that he does come up with a way to get around that. He's not really hurting anyone or anybody.
That's where it goes from destroying the aliens to destroying the device that is going to conquer Earth.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Everybody, you like the candles here?
I thought they were pretty cool actually.
Well, you can't use them to heat up the coffee anymore.
No, the candles, and then next to the blinky light panels there.
Oh, okay. She said the lights are all transistorized. This is where they had LEDs and diodes and things like that. But they had the right hand. That they knew that they wouldn't be like the old-fashioned. What is it?
Vacuum tubes.
You're talking vacuum
Yes,
tubes. Yeah.
vacuum tubes. Right.
Well, it's one thing I always liked about Star Trek. They'd have those little, cubes, right? The little, square little things they'd put into the computer and, record a message on. Yeah, it was kind of like those mini disc tapes or some kind of thing that came out in the 80s. Like they looked a lot like that. But, I can't remember exactly what I'm talking about. So on with the episode.
Our purpose is to destroy it. So here they, out of all that stuff in there, I guess they immediately figure out which one is the machine that's causing all the problems. But the Saticons notify them that their weapons have no effect on it. And they do try to shoot, and it is true.
Well, it's lucky that they guessed what the machine was that was going to destroy Earth, because they could have hit it, but luckily the aliens left out in the open.
Yes, well, that's true too. They didn't bother to guard it.
Everybody digging that curtain with all the diamond shapes.
Yes.
Yes, those are very common in the day.
Yeah,
It's funny too.
wait a minute.
Sometimes, right? It's funny too because in some of the scenes, the Saticons go hide behind the curtains, and John and Don step up to the curtains but won't go through them or around them until later.
Yeah.
Actually, could you go back maybe 4 slides, Jill? Because there was an interesting line there. The one about, gosh, it was about machines or something, or how they were, they were beneficial.
It said man had the gears that has created the very instruments.
No, it's not
That
that
won't-
one. Maybe it's a little further. Gosh, I wish I'd said something. That's the
one?
one. Machines were created for the betterment of mankind, not its destruction. I'm thinking, well, I don't know about that. I've seen some machines that are kind of pretty destructive, in my lifetime. So it's like optimism, I guess, but
Look at Dynamite was the creator Dynamite. I can't think of something Nobel. There, he created it to help with the mining process, but then The military got hold of it. That's how we got the Nobel Peace Prize, because obituary was public early of him, and he got called the creator of death or something.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, the guy.
I was just thinking like Oppenheimer with that movie that just came out like not too long ago, right? And it's like, well, those machines weren't exactly peaceful, or for the betterment of anybody that
Well,
was underneath them when they got
yeah,
dropped on.
yeah. And hey, Daniels.
Hello, Daniel. Good to see you. Glad you could join us.
Hi, Daniel.
Daniel just celebrated a birthday recently.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy belated birthday, Daniel.
Yeah, I had my kids sing happy birthday to him on stream.
I remember that. That was cool too. Your kids are pretty good singers there.
And Daniel asks, well, you want to read that, Gorilla? Have we gotten to that part of the chat?
Oh, can you just catch up on chats real quick?
Yeah, it might be a good time. Thank you.
Scrolling. Here, PvP, since you're the music guy.
Okie doke. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. And that's an REM song, by the way.
I deleted it because that lady was carrying around the head and it spoke. I realized I didn't know how to work that machine. And other Greg says, cheers. Greg. Hello. Cheers.
Hi, Lemon.
Suzanne. That's just where Suzanne said she had to go. Yeah. PvP.
Hail, Lord of the Eggnog.
Yeah.
I'm never going to live that down.
There you go, Pop.
Hello there. Is there a machine trying to destroy Earth in this episode? There are these bad guys, and they examine the robot to see how Earth designs machinery because they want to take over and conquer our machines and turn our machines against us, if I'm explaining that correctly.
That's the perfect summary of the episode, actually, Pop. That's awesome. Yeah, good stuff.
Or actually, I guess they're going to use the knowledge of Earth machinery to take over the universe.
There you go.
Well, actually, you skipped a chat earlier from Scotty R37. He said, I deleted it because that lady was carrying around. Oh, you did read that? Okay, yeah, I didn't hear you say that. Well, okay, I wasn't paying attention. I was texting my father because he texted me. See? But I wanted to answer that. And the thing is, the robot head wasn't speaking. People were speaking for it. So your theory that you deleted was still sound. Well, that's all.
You okay there, Gorilla?
Yeah.
So here's where we have Don and John are attempting to destroy the machine. And they realize that as told by the Sadicons, that their laser weapons have no effect. So they're going to try to physically harm the machine. And the way they turn the pistols around in their hands, I guess they're going to try to attempt to beat the machines into submission. But there's no need pistol whip them. Thank you. But there's no need because now we have the robot. And here's where the robot realizes that he does not have to hurt the Sadicons, but he can destroy the bad machine that they are using to manipulate the machines around them. So we get our heroic scene from the robot. And of course, they don't question why Will's there. And I'm guessing all this wind drama is part of the self defense mechanism built into that machine or something, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
It's
I
the
wasn't
it's
sure
the
what that was
force,
coming from
Bob.
either.
It's
Oh,
the
the
force.
force. That's right. He does say that.
And it's like George
That's
Lucas was
true,
watching
true.
this. George Lucas was watching this, and he went, "Aha! I see
you're right
Eric.
The
about that.
robot used its electricity.
Oh, I see more Erics. There we go.
Is his arms waving wildly?
He's smashing up that evil machine.
It
Well,
was
they
nice.
thought it was invulnerable.
It was nice to see the robot finally destroy something because it's been a while, since he's done that. So, because we forget, the robot's pretty handy when it comes to, having to shoot lightning bolts or do whatever.
Yes.
Well, the explanation for how he was able to do that without even using his lightning, his zapping power, he just smashed it with his hand. It's because he said their invention could not be destroyed by man or machine. And I could do it because I'm something in between.
He's
So
a machine.
Is
He's
that
a machine.
is that saying that
He's
though
a
he is a
toaster.
robot, he's gaining humanity through knowledge of hanging around with the Robinsons and Dr. Smith?
I could get that he's gone beyond his original programming, but that he's something more than a machine is what this episode wants to.
They pulled off a Pinocchio.
He's a learning machine then. He's able to advance
And
beyond his programming.
Well,
once the evil cosmic machine of the Sedicons was destroyed, they all melted.
Yeah, that was pretty handy.
And then they put the bowler hat of the leader on
Well,
the top
yeah.
of the robot's head as they walk off.
That was a nice touch. Yeah, that was really good.
what did
But
they
I
put on
thought
the
you-
robot's head?
The bowler hat
bowler.
there
Oh,
with
the hat.
the leader's bowler hat with the star symbol or the flare.
The fact that they melt really takes care of a big issue that I would have had with this episode if they didn't melt. Because if they didn't, then they would have still had the knowledge that they learned from examining the robot, and they can just build their machine again. But since they melt, their knowledge dies with them.
So when their
Melts with them.
when their machine died, they died. So they were somehow intricately connected to the machine. It seems.
Yeah, like like Sauron was linked to the One Ring.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 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 You'll find out what he means in 2 weeks PvP.
Huh? What? What?
You'll find out what he means in 2 weeks.
Oh, Lord of the Rings. Okay. You lost me for a second there.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm not sure why they melt. But yeah. Because they're connected with the machine. Sure.
Yep.
That works.
It works.
Why not?
It solves a major issue that I had with the episode that I don't have anymore.
Well, it would have been nice too if Don would have looked around and said, there's a lot of equipment here we may be able to use.
Ooh.
For sure, yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Like an air conditioner?
Maybe but Smith doesn't trust machinery anymore at this point. He's too traumatized. Let's go back to basics, eh?
Yeah, he lets the robot in there.
Yeah. It was nice to see
Well,
John and
he's family.
Don. Nice to see John and Don actually getting something to do in this episode for a change, though. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks like they will in the next one too. Here, it looks like they're working on the. Looks like the air conditioners out in the Jupiter too. So they're working on the equipment, and it looks like nerves are getting frayed. And here's where we get the bloop.
Yep.
Debbie
Bloop
is
sighting.
back officially.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Scary
Oh.
alien sighting.
How long's it been since the bloop showed up? Like, we've all made
Few
jokes
episodes.
about maybe they got hungry one day or something, but the bloop is back, so like that's
Few
been what? How
episodes.
many episodes? Long time.
To be
Yeah,
continued
but a
next
few.
week. And next week's episode, The Dream Machine.
That alien didn't look particularly threatening, though. He almost looked like he was maybe just trying to say hi there.
No,
Also, he
no.
was
I
moving
was
very slowly.
I was absolutely terrified.
Really?
How can you guys say you weren't scared by that?
I wasn't scared by him at all. I thought maybe he just wanted to be a friendly alien for once.
Oh, well, sure. They're all friendly. Yeah.
Well, no, they're mostly not, but there could be an exception occasionally, right?
Not on this show. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Well, we'll find out in the next time we do a Lost in Space, which hopefully is that going to be next week, or am I wrong?
Sure, there's no reason why I won't be here next Monday.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
Yeah,
Thanks,
as far
Jill.
as I know, we're going to be here.
Well, I know with Easter and all that stuff, some people have to change their schedules around. So, I kind of just like to double check,
Yeah. So, as a reminder, everybody, there is a poll in the chat. Please vote if you'd like to. Let us know what grade you would give either this episode or our coverage of this episode. And in the meantime, I'm going to go around the panel here, let everybody give us their thoughts and to tell us about their channels. And if it's okay, I'll start with you, Gorilla.
I did
What
not
say
like
you
this.
about this episode?
I did not like
Sorry,
this
go ahead.
episode. I did not like this episode. There, it's one thing that it's kind of became a trope that oh look, something's rolling on its own, let's follow it. And they don't notice small things. But what really took me out of the episode, there was when we started getting the notebook in space there with the crying robot. Feeling all depressed. I was like, it just stopped the whole episode for me there. They could have done that scene a whole lot differently, or even just yanked that scene out completely and showed us more of how that machine worked, or told us more about the aliens and stuff.
Gotcha.
There, and then when you get to the end, they're all of a sudden, oh, I'm not a machine. No, you're a machine. You're an artificial intelligence machine. There, they could still have me destroyed, but don't tell me that it's like halfway between human and thing. It's like, yeah. I was just, yeah. They're saying that they had take out the whole universe there. I would like to know. Okay, what's this? How far can you do the powers that control the machines go? You're saying you can take over the Earth, but you know how much power that would take just to control the power of the machines, let alone take over the universe with that. And then not only that, you have the problem of actually controlling the humans, because we are known to be a violent species. So you really want to put up with that? I would give it a D minus, and the only reason it's a D minus is because of the prank that Dodd played on Dr. Smith and him doing that arms waving wildly. That's the only thing that saves us from a complete F.
Cool. So, what would you like to tell us about your channel?
Let's see. On Wednesday, we were watching. We're ending season 4 of Justified and starting season 5 for Watch Party. For Chris Doc, we are watching Kirk Cameron's Left Behind. Friday, we're reviewing the Walton's episode, The Runaway, and we will not be having a Saturday night review or a Sunday or Cinema Sunday because of Easter. But when we come back, there's a Keanu Reeves movie on Saturday. One I mentioned, it's a weird name. It's a very weird name. Johnny Minaji.
Mnemonic. Mnemonic.
Yeah, that's
Oh
it.
my god! I love that
Johnny.
movie.
Well, Jill, do you want a link to 2 weeks?
I just wanted to say I love the movie. I don't know, maybe.
When are you doing that, Gorilla?
It's on It's the Saturday, 2 weeks.
2
On
weeks.
the
Okay.
Saturday.
Good to know.
The Saturday night review.
Oh, by the way, do you have a link to the Cringe Doc movie on Thursday? Because I wouldn't mind watching that one. Well, no, you're doing the
At the watch party.
Yeah, you're
We
doing the
want-
watch party. Okay, sorry, I get confused whether it's a review or a watch. Yeah, okay, good, all good.
Yeah, then Sunday. The Sunday in 2 weeks there, we will be watching the best Lord of the Rings movie. The Return of the King, the extended edition.
So is that one 4 hours long too?
No, that was 16.
16 hours. Wow, I better get some good sleep before that then. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the warning.
And also today, I do got 4 shorts of our old fire trucks at the fire hall.
Oh.
One's a
cool.
horse-drawn one, and then we had one from 1929, and one from the 50s or 60s. There, he wasn't quite sure. That apparently all our fire trucks have a 9/11 memorial plaque on the back of them.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense because a lot of firemen did sacrifice themselves.
They're under
that day.
43.
Oh, I'll have to check those out. That sounds cool, Gorilla. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anything else, or is that it?
That's it.
All right. I appreciate you helping me out. I appreciate you helping me out tonight once again with the chat, Gorilla. Great job. And Jill, what say you about tonight's episode?
I have a little different opinion. I think this was a really fun episode. And while the villains were a little bit two-dimensional, I had a really good time discovering their deceptions and underhandedness throughout the episode because of their design, because they were designed really creepy and cool. And the gold ball, it couldn't have been solid, of course. And their intentions were to dismantle and study the robot rather than keep him forever. So those were the deceptions that were easy to ascertain while watching the episode. The knowledge gained from examining the robot, it had they not melted, I was gonna say, it should enable them to create more machines down the road. But since they melt, then they don't retain that knowledge, and so that's not a. It was a potential plot hole that they covered up just by making them melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. And so while I found the idea of conquering Earth through technological control to be really interesting, but then when they said the whole universe, that's a bit ridiculously grandiose. But at least the villain had a clear goal for the Robinsons to defend against, and that sounds like a simple thing to ask for. But season 2 has been so weird that usually you have no clue what actually the goal is of anything, and so this one actually had that, and that's what I expect from Lost in Space. And when they actually try to make science fiction, they end up saying something a bit important, maybe even without them realizing it. Well, I guess they did, since they put it into the dialogue. But it seems even more relevant now as we're dependent more and more on technology. Are we letting it control us? What'll it mean to have a self-driving car hooked up? If it's all hooked up to the internet, will it one day decide it can drive us where it wants to go? If you're not even paying attention, you're playing checkers or something in the back, and it drives you somewhere else. And
drives us off a cliff.
Well, what's going to happen is with the self-driving cars is you're going to hop into it. They'll flip the seatbelts on, lock the doors, and go, "You have a warrant out for your arrest. Now proceeding to the police station."
Exactly. And when an episode leads me to those kinds of tangents, I know I'm watching something worthwhile. So even better. I also like that the ladies of the crew had more lines, and that extended beyond just the important domestic needs. That stuff's important. I'm glad they do those, but they also showed that they can fight for the protection of their family, especially when John says, when Smith tries to say, "No, I have to stay here to protect the family," and John says, "My wife can protect the family perfectly well while I'm away." And
yes,
and also, yeah, that's a line we didn't mention, but it was a really good one. And also, Judy has her laser gun ready to go. And that's all I really ever asked for. And Barney Slater finally delivered and did a splendid job with the characterization of the robot, too. I didn't mind the crying because like Pop said, Barney was specifically tasked with expanding the range of emotion that the robot could show. And sadness is basically the only one we really hadn't seen yet. To a big degree, and so they really maybe they hammed it up a little bit, but it was just fun for me to see. And you know that the robot will defend the family when he needs to. But he can also be sad about knowing the fact that he's going to eventually have to give himself up for the family, but he's, of course, depressed that he has to leave the family. So did this episode inspire the Borg's catchphrase? I don't know. Maybe.
Possibly.
But resistance is futile.
And what
I
about
do
your
have
channel,
a
Jill?
Oh,
yes, I do have a
Jill,
channel.
Jill, do you have a
Antiderivative Jill.
Do you have a rating?
Yes, I gave this episode an A.
Okay, just was wondering. Thank you.
Oh, did I miss
Nice.
saying that? I thought I said it at the beginning.
Yeah, I
did.
don't think you did. So I just wanted to
Oh,
remind
thank you thank you. Well, I have a channel called Antiderivative Jill where I like to talk about science fiction, specifically Star Trek, but I also talk about other stuff too, and sometimes even movies that are about real science.
Somebody having trouble with their microphone?
Not
Sorry, Jill.
I.
Oh,
Not
sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry,
All right.
I got my zippers rubbing on it.
Go ahead, Jill. Sorry, go ahead, Jill.
Oh, that's okay. Tomorrow we're going to watch Star Trek, the original series, episode 3, season 3, not episode 3, season 3. And the episode is Requiem for Methuselah. And so we're getting close to the end of TOS. It's a really sad time over there. But we're going to have a lot of fun with the episodes we have left. And after that, we're going to check out Star Trek Continues before we head into For All Mankind.
Oh, that's cool.
Really? Okay.
Oh, wow. I might have to
Yeah.
try and adjust my schedule if you're going to do continuous, because that's
And-
awesome, Jill.
Yeah, so and that's all I got for now. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Jill. I appreciate you being here with us tonight. And once again, thank you for the amazing job with the slides. And I'm going to save myself for last. I usually do. PvP would say you. What do you say about tonight's episode?
I really like this one. I think this, after a number of mediocre to weak episodes that we've had over the last few months, this is a really good one. I think this is a very strong episode. I think finally Barney Slater gets back on track, gets back on target, just like some of the great stuff he was writing back in season 1. So I put this up as, you know, one of Barney's better scripts, and he is one of the most experienced and prolific Lost in Space, you know, script writers, screenwriters. So it's like, yeah, nice to see him back. Yeah, I thought it's a good story. I liked the creepy villains. I liked that they had a fashion sense with those weird hats they were wearing, which was kind of fun. That's the Lost in Space thing for sure, when you have aliens that wear hats. But I love the robot stuff. I mean, the robot, they do keep developing the character of the B9 as he goes through the series, and I really appreciate that, because I actually think the robot is one of the cooler characters in the series, for at least for me. So I wasn't upset at all to see when he was getting emotional and when he was actually sobbing in that one scene because he was feeling depressed. I thought, well, this is another step in the development of the character. Like, and he is definitely a very important character in the series, as far as I'm concerned. It was nice to see a lot more Professor Robinson and Dawn, you know, having a little bit of action, you know, being a little, you know, forceful, you know, so that was good. There was enough Smith to make it, you know, particularly not so much Smith that you got tired of him. So that was a nice balance too. I like the plot line of aliens trying to, you know, take over the machinery of our planet to you know, enslave us. So that was a good plot line, I thought. Gosh, there's so much good stuff. I mean, hey, even Judy got a scene where she was attacked by a garden hose, right? So that's a bonus too, because I mean, we always almost never get to see poor Judy. Yeah, so that's about it. I think I've covered all the points, and for my rating, I'm going to give this one an A minus. I think it's a pretty excellent episode. I always, you know, I'm a bit conservative in my ratings because there are a few episodes coming up. Well, probably more than a few. There's some episodes coming up that I think are like A or A plus material. So, of course, I'm not going to mention those. But yeah, this is a good one. I say A minus. I enjoyed this thoroughly from beginning to end. So I guess that's pretty much it as far as my review, Pop.
All right, and what about your channel?
My channel is rock and roll. I put music playlists up, and sometimes I'll post entire albums. I haven't done much lately because this past month has been one of those months where there's so much going on behind the scenes that I just get distracted from doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. But I'll probably get a playlist up sometime, hopefully in the next few weeks. So just tune in once in a while, take a look and see if there's anything new, because I'm sure if there is anything new, it'll probably show up. But yeah, that's about it. So, yep.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that, PvP.
No, you're welcome, Pop, as always.
And if I may ask, how about you, Stone Racker? What say you about tonight's episode?
I gave this one an A. I really enjoyed the Satacon aliens, always have. And they're not merely wearing hats, they're wearing cosmic bowler hats. So
That's right.
Because they're sparkly, But yeah, I enjoyed the aliens, and this is also a good robot episode, and good development of his character. And I like the fact that everybody got something to do in this one, and the women also got the chance to shine, and also pack some heat there with the laser pistols, which is always great to see that. But yeah,
True.
I really enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun, and I think PvP said balance. That's a operative word for this one. It did have pretty good balance as far as the suspense and creepiness of the aliens and the situation, as well as some of the comedic aspects. Didn't go too far there. Came close a few times there with Smith, but overall, I thought it was fairly well done as far as balancing the drama and suspense and comedy. So yeah, I agree with PvP that Barney Slater. I disagree with the dogs. I do enjoy this episode, and no, Barney Slater.
That.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Barney Slater, like PvP said, is back on form, and I agree, because he wrote some of my favorite episodes from the first season. And overall, this is a very good second season episode. So I right away, I once your poll was up, I just automatically gave it an A, and so I'll just leave it at that. And I don't have a channel on YouTube, but I like to hang out here with you, Pop, and also with Jill, talking about science fiction and all kinds of other stuff.
Well,
So
we're
thanks
always
again.
glad to have you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And it's always fun to be here, talking about a classic show like Lost in Space.
It's definitely our pleasure. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Especially when one is as good as this one. This one almost felt like a season 1 episode.
Yeah, it's fun. It was fun.
This really is a top-notch Lost in Space app. I love this one. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to give it an A as well. I enjoyed it. I liked at the time the idea was original about trying to figure out a way of controlling machines to make them destroy or interfere with the society. I thought that was a good idea. And once again, I always, there's never enough episodes where the robot is the center of the episode. And the robot does get to expand. We get a little more character arc from that. I did like the crying scene. We saw some things in this episode we had not seen before. And I really appreciated that. And I'm glad they go out of their way to spend time with the robot, because at this point they knew that the robot was one of the favorite characters of the viewing audience, and they knew how to take advantage of that. And I thought that was a smart move as well. As far as and I don't know if I said, but I give it an A. As far as my channel, tonight, tomorrow night, hopefully, we're gonna have a viewing of on my horror sci-fi stream at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We're gonna be doing Return of the Living Dead. I'm gonna go in and make sure tonight that I can get a good working link put up in the community tab so everybody gets a chance to watch it before we cover it. And then Wednesday, Gorillas, Brandon Thoughts, and myself, we will be back with 2 more episodes from season 3 of Gilligan's Island. And then if everything works out, hopefully next Saturday I'll be back with another stream of Rumblings from the Lab, and that will be at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. But I really, really appreciate the time and effort you all spent to be here and spend your valuable time with us tonight. I want to thank everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat as well. And I'm going to be going into the chat momentarily here and closing out the poll and sharing the results with everybody. But before I do that, Gorilla, shall we get caught up on the chat? What do you think?
Yep, just a sec here.
Thank you. No problem.
Where were we? Yeah, scroll. Okay, Sky says it's the universe this time, not just Earth. Yeah. He says, thanks, Jill. Daniel, hi. Hello, Daniel. Cloud creature lives matter. Hashtag cloud creatures lives matter. I want the robot repair manual. It says,
that would be nice to have, wouldn't it?
Greg says, Terran Empire will rise. We are indeed a violent species, Gorilla. And thank you, Scurvy, for that. And Scurvy says, I'm all for an empire based on midriffs.
That could be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's we're not on Star Trek stream, but yeah, that's echoes of some stuff that I've talked about on Star Trek.
Reminds me of Mirror, big time.
It reminds me of a lot of episodes. 2 that we just covered.
And Greg says, agreed limit of Scurvy. And Administrator Jill's channel. Apparently, we have a new person, Administrator Jill.
Administrator Jill. Hey.
Everyone agrees, Stone Racket, except for the network censors.
Yeah. Especially the NBC censors. They were like, we cannot show a female navel. No.
Yeah, and well, me there, I was oddball one out on the panel tonight. And other Greg says, strikes fist to chest. Well, after you've been made to watch The Notebook like 5 times, because
5 times, that's pretty outrageous.
I've never seen it once. I'm proud to say.
Hey, well, there's only one reason that I ended up watching them when the ex loves those movies, and there's only one reason I sat through it 5 times, and well, let's just say
that's
those are
for what happens after. Yeah,
what happens after. See, you gotta make sacrifices sometimes. And Scurvy
as long as what happens afterwards is worth it.
Oh, it was.
It must have been worth it if you did it 5 times, girl.
True enough.
Well, I'm glad I don't have roaches.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have roaches there.
I did it one time in my life.
They suck.
They're not fun. They're horrible. Yeah.
And Greg says, I already have a girlfriend who drives me where I don't want to go. And Scurvy says, I mean, the thing offered me a deposit to move in.
That's scary.
Oh dear.
I had to load my Gatling gun.
Not only are those
Oh,
roaches
man.
in Texas huge, they're also sentient.
That's scary.
Scurvy says when he's not completely. Oh, here, PvP, you read this one.
Sure. When he's not cornering the eggnog market, he makes music playlists. PvP, and then there's my channel.
Ellen Greg says, you ready to join Star Troopers, Scurvy? Killing giant bugs?
Yeah, do your part.
That's a
Yeah.
fun movie.
And Scurvy says, we have the technology, Oiler. And sorry, I can't read this one.
Yeah, Lemon Pie says Stone Racket gives it 5 apples, meaning this episode. So how you like them apples? I give it 5.
Yeah. And Scurvy says, I for one enjoy it when the dogs chimed in. And Daniel says, I miss Gorilla talking about Lord of the Rings, the 2 Towers. You can always go and watch it on the rewatch there. They'll help my watch hours. Just
Yeah,
saying.
it's still up. Still up and posted, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to share the results of the poll. And let's see what we got here. All right, looks like wonderful. Looks like we had 12 votes. What grade would you give Wreck of the Robot? And it looks like A plus to A minus got 50% of the votes. B plus to B minus got 41%. D plus to F minus 8%. That's probably Gorilla, I'm guessing. And C plus to C minus 0%. Very cool. Thank you, everybody, for participating. I really do appreciate that.
Well, at least I said what I wanted changed in the episode.
That's fine. Yeah. Oh, no, that's totally fine.
No, your rating's totally cool, Gorilla. Like, I don't mind your rating at all. I just think it's awesome that this episode got like 91% in the A's and B's. Like, man, has it been a while since we had an episode that strong? Seems like it, right? So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we are here for all opinions, but we also heard the dogs seem kind of upset. So I think they might be on your side.
No, do you think the dogs gave it a D or an F?
That's what I was thinking.
Possibly.
Could be.
Possibly.
Yeah, what
they're a little hungry. So that is one reason why we're getting a little more input from them tonight.
Hey, Pop, do you happen to remember what the now I'm blanking on the episode title. Oh dear.
Senior moment.
Yes. Just trying. Oh, never mind. Move on.
Well, maybe next time you'll remember, or when you least expect it. Is usually how it happens.
Well, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close the stream. And I want to thank everyone for being here. Don't tune out just yet. I'm going to show our clip for next week. And I hope you guys enjoy that. And like I said, tomorrow, please be here. Be there at Antiderivative Jill's channel for Requiem from Methuselah. Is that right, Jill? Tomorrow?
Yes, that's right. For tomorrow. That's the episode.
Yes.
And it's got a robot too. It's also got a helpful robot.
Yeah, I remembered. Android. I remember the episode title, "The Prisoners of Space." Was that the last one that got the best rating, Pop?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I
think
just wondered.
That's the last one I gave an A. That's probably right.
Oh, that's the last one you gave an A.
It might be. It depends on what I rated the boxing one. I like the boxing one.
Yeah. I think I gave that one a B. But yeah, I think the last one I gave an A was The Prisoners of Space. All I could think of was Trial. And I just like, that's not the name of the episode. It's not Space Trial. It's not Cosmic Trial.
Yeah, I call it Menagerie, Lost in Space.
Right, the Lost in Space version.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Pop, as far as the movie tomorrow, Return of the Living Dead, hopefully there'll be a link to that maybe tonight, because if there is, I might watch it tonight.
I've had a link up for a week or for several days.
I don't know. I checked yesterday, and I couldn't find a link anywhere. So you might want to check that, unless I missed something.
Is anybody else, if they're on the panel or the chat, speak up? Have you seen if my link is working? Because you didn't see it in my post in my community tab.
I'm going to check again because I didn't see anything in community.
Well, now it's not going to do any good because Soap Today is down today. So I've got to
Pop in the private chat. I gave you the link. I gave you the link.
I know, but one in the. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying up till now, it had a link for Soap Today, but today, since Soap Today is down, I've got to put a link for a different site. But before today, there was a link for Soap Today on there. Now I'm confused.
There's nothing there now, Pop, and I'm sorry. I checked like a day ago, and there was nothing there then. So I don't like to disagree or anything, but that's just my experience. So I don't know. Maybe it's a glitch or something,
What do you see instead?
I see nothing. Like I go on the comments, like where you usually post it, and I see 0 comments, and there's absolutely nothing.
All right, I'm looking right now. View your channel, community, live. Oops, no, I want community. There it is, Return of the Living Dead. Now I'm going down to the.
I'm just not seeing it on my
They're gone. Yeah, and I did post, and it's gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it, because I wanted to be helpful, and because there's a lot of people going to be less on your stream tomorrow, right? If we can't watch it, I mean, I wouldn't have brought it up if the link was good. I would have watched it already, but yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go. Give me a moment, guys. Bear with me here.
I'm sure Gorilla could probably help a lot.
Well, I do have another link. I have another link that he sent tonight. I'm posting it right now, this minute as we speak.
Okay.
But I know I posted it. And I remember I even pinned it.
Yeah, when I checked, I think it was yesterday. I checked.
There, the link is now in there.
Okay,
it's in there now.
Good.
Okay. So with that, let me get our preview ready for next week, everybody. And once again, thank you everybody in the chat and on the panel for being here tonight. It was a blast. I had a good time. I always do, but I definitely did tonight.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.
Is that the transpiration of all your fine human qualities into radion.
By depriving you of them.
Seize them!